as well as the quality of the document. Again, in some cases, CD-ROMs for large data sets are available. Now, one of the issues also with numeric databases is having people on staff with skills and knowledge to actually be able to search or operate the source. Support here means institutional cost. Again, there are costs associated with either the mode of access, if it's online, or CD-ROM. Careful consideration of both options and how to handle the charges is essential before moving into the business of acquiring data sets. And also the obsolescence. If you start collecting CD-ROMs, how do you maintain the access to those over time as systems are upgraded? Traditional reference materials. Bibliographies, index, or abstracts, and tables of contents are traditionally types of reference materials. With the data in electronic form, the publishers or producers can generate more and more specialized products. Public service users frequently prefer online or CD-ROM products over print version. User expectations or beliefs about electronic information also create challenges for the staff. Too often, users think the electronic data, particularly web-based, is both the most current and the most comprehensive. And that's not always the case. Software. Although some libraries in the past have collected software, few still do, except to the extent it comes as a supplemental to a print publication. School media centers, if they have a responsibility for computing services, are the most likely to maintain a collection of educational application software programs. Though libraries are acquiring more and more books that come with software on CD-ROMs or an associated website, that it's integral to the use of the print material. Selection issues. Loyola Marymount University considers 4 broad categories of issues when evaluating a new electronic product: content, access, support, and cost. The approach is similar to what other libraries do in this area. Content, as with any format, should be the first consideration. There is some temptation to acquire an electronic format because it's new, because others have it, because it's attractive or entertaining, because it's multimedia based, or because it will interface with existing equipment. None of these are valid reasons for adding a title. Instead, care should be taken to make certain the item matches up with both the library and the institutional goals. Although popularity or high demand is a basic reason for selecting an item, it also creates some public service concerns. One can lease or buy multiple copies of a bestseller book, develop request lists, and have a few rental copies of high-demand items. Few libraries or information agencies circulate their journals, so current journals are usually available when a user seeks them. A single user license for a CD-ROM or an online product, however, can create queues and unhappy customers as they log on trying to use it and are unable to. Even though multiple users are an important factor in the selection decision, the consequences of that popularity also must be taken into account. A popular item may require purchasing multi-user license that adds significantly to the cost. Content of the product is the key issue, as it is for any addition to the collection. If the product is bibliographic or statistical in nature, one must consider how far back in time the data goes. Understanding local use patterns is a key issue in making the selection decision. Questions to consider about content include how often is the product updated, and are there any plans to add back files? In selecting any product for the collection, aspects like quality, accuracy, authoritativeness, and currency of data are factors that any collection should be well aware of. With electronic products, these factors can be even more significant than with other formats. Many people have great respect for anything in print and transfer that faith to electronic products, which means they believe always contain the most accurate, complete, and current information available. This almost blind end-user acceptance of electronic information means the selection personnel must be careful in their decision about electronic formats. As mentioned previously, long-term availability is another concern. Online material sometimes disappears overnight. The person operating a discussion list or other website may simply stop maintaining the service, or may make significant changes to the service. This happened recently in terms of libraries with Rosetta Stone, which is a language learning software. Libraries have been offering it for a number of years as an electronic resource that was available at the library as well as off-site. And Rosetta Stone recently changed with the end of all their contracts that the only option would be for libraries would be to have it as a DVD or a CD-ROM product that would need to be loaded onto each computer. You have to, each time a person wanted to use it, you would have to drop in a CD so that the customer could access that language on that computer. So therefore, there would be no off-site access, as well as the staff time involved in tracking each CD, dropping it into each computer, was really taking too many steps back. I mean, that was more like what we were doing about 15 years ago. It was actually dropping CDs into specific computers and tracking that. So, and that was completely the vendor who decided not to offer it to libraries. A real concern is how long the CD-ROM or DVD formats will be with us. How many times must a library information agency acquire the same information? For example, the sound recordings of Handel's Water Music are available in many formats. First is a 78 RPM disc, then is a 33 1/3 RPM disc, then is an 8-track tape, then is a cassette, and now is a CD, MP3, or streaming audio. If one of the libraries or information centers' goals is to preserve information for future generations, then format, viability, and support must become a concern. Migration to new formats is a real concern in preserving data. Someone will need to migrate the data from one platform to the next, which is a cost someone must underwrite on a regular basis.